understanding is the ego wanting to understand. When you give up to understand, you can create magic. But magic you cannot understand. So only when I become the multi-billionaire that I'm becoming, I know I found all the secrets. I have all the keys. And then I can give the keys to the world. That is the easy part. And I think I have all the keys now. All right, so now it's a matter of proof. Because I'm saying I'm a billionaire. Sure, that's fun. You can believe me or not.
Yeah.
But I'm going to deliver proof. I'm going to start this year deliver proof. By actions I will take. But next year is the time of coming out with a big bang. You need to choose for financial freedom, whatever that means to you.
Yeah.
You see, when you escape the rat race, you have more choice. Now you can choose what you like. But the question is, are you going to escape the rat race through hard work, to sacrifice, or are you going to escape the rat race with pleasure? This podcast today is exactly the one that I want to close with. Because when the story comes, you will have been the one that knew the story that's going to come.
What's up, people? Welcome back to the Starwolfunity podcast. And today we have a legendary guest. My man, the one and only, Roy Martina.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing, Roy Martina?
Well, I can only compare it to, one time when I was living in America, I went to a shop called Toys R Us. And that's like bigger than a normal supermarket here that we know in Europe. And they're only toys. And you're walking around. And imagine being a kid in a toy store. And you have a problem. The problem is what you're going to choose. So what's going to give you the most pleasure if a lot of things are going to give pleasure? So the most difficult thing is to say no. And to only go for what is really resonating the most with you. And at the same time, I think this is the most difficult thing for most people, is to understand when you create abundance, you have to say no to many, many different things. It is about choosing. And what I discovered is that you're not choosing yourself, you're sensing. You have to sense it. You cannot rely on your thinking. You cannot analyze it and decide, because this one is bigger and more shiny than that one, that should be the one. Do you understand the problem?
Yeah.
So the challenge is in sensing. And so the most important thing I can tell everybody we need to develop is the thing that most people don't even know that exists. And that's your pineal gland. Your pineal gland is your sensor. It's that thing that most people lose the moment that they start to become awake to this world. So when you awaken in a three-dimensional world where your pineal gland is not used, because the pineal gland connects you to other dimensions. So in other words, we are trained to be focused on a dimension where we don't need the pineal gland. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So people start talking about their hearts, but the heart is the lower level of the pineal gland, not the higher level. So when you follow your heart, you may not end up where you need to be because you're not multidimensional. The pineal gland is multidimensional. So we need to go from follow your heart to basically develop such an intuition that when you walk around in the store, that you can close your eyes.
And then
and you just follow the sense. And then you will end up, and you go, this is what it is. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's where I am right now. I am in this huge store and I'm deciding how I'm going to use this, because I can make a choice. Do I want a toy for me? And I'm a difficult person to give toys to, because everything I want, I buy. If I want something, I buy it. So it's difficult to give me a toy. Now, if I'm in this toy store, I can choose what I want, but I can also ask myself the question, who can I give pleasure with these toys? And I think that's the greatest pleasure. The moment you realize that the art of giving is better than the art of receiving.
Yeah.
And most people don't know how to give because they give for the wrong reasons. They give because they want something back. So when you give, you want something back, you are stuck in receiving because you're going to wait now to receive. And while you're waiting to receive, a lot of opportunities pass you by that were maybe bigger than that what you're waiting to receive. So you need to step out of the one-dimensional giving.
Yeah.
You need to see the other you're giving to as part of a world. You give to the world gives back to you. But it doesn't have to give back to you through that person that you give to. I give to you, but I receive from everybody else. And once you know and master that, you're free, but you don't live, because you don't live in scarcity anymore. You live in abundance. You live in the abundance of giving in the right way. And the right way is to feel pleasure by giving and expect nothing in return. Because the expectation that you have to receive something from that person is the biggest deception. Yeah. So the second trick to giving is how to multiply giving. You see, if I give to one person, I give to one person. If I give to one person, but that person represent all the persons on the planet, all the persons on the planet want to give back. Do you understand the difference?
Yeah. Okay.
It's a very fine, I call it the art of magic. Most people are stuck in the analytical art. They are stuck into trying to understand. When you know, there's nothing to understand. You understand the difference? Understanding is the ego wanting to understand. When you give up to understand, you can create magic. But magic you cannot understand. Do you understand? So you cannot create magic from I understand it. Because then you're a magician. A magician is a guy who plays tricks.
Yeah.
A magician is a very either fast person or a person that can take away your attention of what they're doing so they can do what they do while your attention is somewhere else. And then you think it's magic. That's not magic. That's a magician. That's an illusion. So the true art of magic is playing with energy, right? But you don't play with energy from scarcity. If I'm begging the energy to bring me something, I am in scarcity. I am in wanting. It's my ego that wants. It's my spirit that owns everything. If I become the owner of the energy, and I command the energy. Do you understand the difference?
Yeah.
I tell the energy what it needs to do. And I give the energy time to do what it needs to do. And the only thing I need to do is hold the space for that energy to return back to me. That's magic.
Yeah.
Magic is keeping things in motion, using your intentions step by step to create a movement that is so great that when it comes back, it's a tsunami. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it's not about patience. Patience is, you have patience when you have expectation that something should come. Okay? But you need to become the same like someone who goes surfing. You have your board, you go out there, and you are there. But why are you there? You are there because you think a wave will come. True or false?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be surfing there. But did you sense the wave that's coming, or are you hoping the wave is coming?
Yeah.
Do you understand the difference?
Yeah.
If I sense today is the day, maybe the sea is flat at the moment when I go out, but I know something will happen. So I'm going to position myself in the place where it's the best place that I sense. So I'm there. What am I going to do until the wave comes? I'm going to relax. I'm not going to lose time and say, oh, when is the wave coming? Oh, my God, the wave didn't come in the last 5 minutes. I'm going to have as much fun as I can. Because when the wave comes, before the wave comes, I start feeling there's a silence. All of a sudden, everything stops. And you go, okay, something is changing in the field. I do not know what, I do not know when, but I can sense it. Yeah. So as I sense it, I feel the ocean rising. And I'm rising with the ocean. And all of a sudden, you see the wave coming. And now the next question is timing, balance, and be able to ride the wave. A lot of people wish on waves they cannot ride. So the wave comes and they don't know what to do. They go, holy moly, this is a big wave. And they cannot ride the wave. So when we create something, in preparation of the creation, we need to prepare ourselves for that what we created. Because if we are not prepared, then we may attract, but we cannot hold. So that's the phenomena we see in people winning the lottery. They win the lottery, they win a lot of money, but they don't know how to manage it. 5 years later, 80% of all the people who won huge amounts in the lottery lost everything because they were not prepared. So creation, everybody can do. That's the easy part. The moment you have a thought, the moment you speak a word, the moment you have a desire, you're creating. We all are creators by design. It is that we not know how to direct the creation to where we want it. Do you see? So I need to become the beacon, the lighthouse that is always on for the creation that I created in the infinity of possibilities for it to find me. And that energy is what I need to hold. And that doesn't require patience, it's just requiring
trust,
a certainty. The certainty it's there.
Also trust, or?
Trust is good, but trust is not the same as knowing. See, if I know, who do I trust?
You don't see it, but you can know.
I know it's coming. I'm sensing.
Damn.
You see, the difference between trusting and sensing is I created something. The moment I created something, if I'm the creator, it's created. Do I trust myself, or do I know I'm a creator? If I know and own the fact that I'm a creator, there's nothing to trust. Who are you going to trust? God, the universe, my brother, who are we going to trust? It is the knowing that creates a certainty and the power to attract. So you need to understand that we all create. But the question is, do you attract it? So the only thing that's important is to work on yourself to increase the power of attraction. That's all it is. I call it the A power. It is just the power. You need to become the magnet that's so strong that you create a problem for the universe. I need to be the universe's biggest fucking problem. The universe needs to worry about me. The universe must think about me all the fucking time to say, how are we going to bring this to this guy? That's the job of the universe, not my job. I'm there. The only thing I need to do is have fun. I'm going to entertain myself until the universe has gathered enough power to bring that what I've created. And the universe wants me to know it's coming. So the universe is sending me signs over and over and over and over again. Tell me, Roy, it's coming. Relax, it's coming. We got you, brother. We got you.
How?
How in different things. So I was in Spain just 2 days ago. A friend of mine, Janos, was giving a training, and I sensed I need to be there. I know Janos, I've worked with him, but I've never followed a full training with him. Not that I wanted to. Not that I don't believe I couldn't learn from Janos. I certainly could learn from Janos, but Janos' way is Janos' way. My way is my way. But if you watch the movies, my spider senses were saying, I have to go. Why? I don't know, but I have to go. Okay, the signs tell me you have to go. There, it was in a place, Montserrat, that's a little history, whatever. Now, I was free that weekend, whatever. I was just coming back from Colombia on a trip there to meet some shamans. And actually, I should be relaxing, but the calling was huge, so I went. So then in this calling, I went there 2 days, and he did activations, very, very powerful activations of the shamanic nature of God he was talking about, which are very good. And what was opened in my sense there, I got many signs, but one of the things was opened that was not in my consciousness is that he started not with the first chakra that we know, the root chakra. He started with the chakras in the soles of your feet. That he called them the earth chakras, which I sent my energy from my root chakra through my feet, but I never thought about my earth chakras. Now when I walk, I can feel them. I can feel they're open. I go like, wow, fuck. And now I'm so connected to Mother Earth. That was the next step that I needed to do. It was a piece of a puzzle. I'm working a puzzle to really be sure that I do everything to be prepared for the tsunami I created. So that was another piece of the puzzle. So, and he is bringing you through, and he uses 13 chakras, and he was guiding us, through them. And each chakra has a power animal, and there was none of the power animals that was resonating with me. And then he was talking about the eagle, and the eagle didn't resonate with me. And I get, it's not an eagle, it's a falcon. So why falcon? I don't know why it's falcon. Okay, falcon. I check again, falcon. And then another power animal, which I know since I was 5, is the puma, the leopard, the cheetah, the tiger. That's one I know. That's the highest one in his thing. So that one, and I got a falcon. Okay, now falcon. Okay, good. Something in my feeling was off because he said eagle, then he said condor. It's fine. So the next day I opened my phone, and before that something else happened. So when I connect with my, what he called the leopard, I called it my puma, and the puma for me represents the Amazon and nature, but also the power of the now. And when I got into the power of my puma, the puma said to me something, and what it said is that we are a starseed from somewhere else. Okay, good, nice information. There's nothing I can do with that information. It's great, whatever. And I said, which race? It says, it is the same race that lived in the Egyptian times. That was the link, the Egyptian times. Okay, which time? Yes, with the sun god Ra, and then there was others like that. Okay, all right, okay, good. I'm very much into Egypt since I was small. I like pyramids. The clinics I'm going to build all over the world are all in pyramids. My personal logo is the sun god Ra and Horus, and in one, the pineal gland is here, the most important organ in the whole of the body. So I got that information from that. So then the next day I opened the news, and I see there's a special falcon that lives on an island near Morocco called Eleonora falcons. Never heard of it. These falcons are special because they're the only falcons in the whole world that catches bird, remove the flying feathers, and stick them in a kind of a rock that they cannot get out. So they got fresh meat all the time. Now, okay, I go like, okay, this is a sign. The day before, falcon. Now in the news, in my news feed, I see Eleonora falcon. Okay, so I tell my partners, my team, because they all are co-creating with me. I said, this is what happened to me, and because I brought them all to Janos, this event in Spain. And then one start Googling Eleonora falcons and find the thing in Morocco and stuff like that. But then the name Eleonora is also a sign. It's a sign of sun, a sign of the sun god. So then you see how you get confirmation of the things that happen when you tune in, and that's what the trust that you need to have is that the information that you get is actionable information. And actionable information is practical information. A lot of people sense everything, fairies, unicorns, God knows what, angels floating around, great stuff. But is it actionable? You see, I don't need information for information. I need information to take action. Does it make sense? So this was a confirmation that the information that I got is correct. That my power animal in this case, is falcon. I need to pay attention to that. Now, another of my team members comes with another piece in this and this was a plane where they have special seats for the falcons. Of course, for the Arabs and the sheikhs, they love falcons for hunting and all kinds. They have planes, departments for falcons, also in the news, on the same day. So again, we get another confirmation. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So, and these confirmations is how the field talks to you. It's telling you, yes, you're on the right way, So we were doing certain things. We found special, I call them historic artifacts. And then it's confirmed that this is part of that what we're creating. So when you want to create something, there's a pathway to that creation. So if you want to be a millionaire, whatever, a multimillionaire, and you want to do it the quantum way, you need to follow the path. Not your mind. Your mind says, I need a plan. What do I need to do in order to become a millionaire? Okay, do this, do that. That's a plan. If that is possible, it always requires certain work, certain things that you must do in order to get where you want. But that's not quantum for me. Yeah. If you want to create something big, you cannot make a plan for it. There's no way I can make a plan to go from a few millions to billions. It's not possible. Because every plan to go from millions to billions requires something you need to do. And quantum teaches me one rule. I need to create, not by doing, but by intention. So if you create by intention, you need to follow the signs to go where it is. The people need to come to you. That are the people that are the co-creators of what you're going to create. Yeah, so it's a whole complex thing. So I'm creating billions, and it will be known. I mean, if everyone can say, Roy can talk about billions, I'm not worried. I'm going to show it. Mm-hmm. When I show it, everybody's going to be perplexed because there's a story to the creation. And the only reason I'm doing this, it's actually there are many different reasons I'm doing it. Number one reason is I want to know it's possible. Yeah. Everybody tells me everything is possible. Everything is energy. I've heard this bullshit a million times, but I don't see the results. Right? Show me. Yeah. Like there's a famous movie with Tom Cruise, and in there, there's this guy, this star, I don't know, football star. He's on saying, "Show me the money. Yeah. Show me the money." Right? Johnny McGuire, "Show me the money." Right? And Tom Cruise, "Okay, show me the money." Right? No of these spiritual guys can show me the money. None of them. They are supposed to be the creators. Yeah. Nowadays, we have all the YouTubers and the influencers. They found the trick. And now we have the fake influencers. They film themselves in expensive places, this and that. And they hope by faking it, they will make it, right? But they cannot show it, right? Some of them can. And what do? They just show you a way for them to get more money. They say, buy my program. Then you will drive the Ferrari. You will live in this villa. Look at this, look at that. That's how they make money, right? By selling a dream. Yeah. They're selling a dream. And the dream is full of lies. Yeah. Because it's not true what they're selling. And number one, the way they're selling it is only triggering the ego. Yeah. And the planet is where it is because of the ego. Yeah. So we need to create something that can be a model for people, not from the ego, but from the true power. The true power is not your ego power. The true power is your divine power. Yeah. And that is hidden so far away from you because of one reason only. And it's the pineal gland. If you cannot activate your pineal gland, you are missing the biggest power in creation. And that's the power of sensing. So you need to sense. And I think that's what the shamans are good in about. The shamans can sense. I am now invited by the most, I could say, powerful shamans in the jungle to do a test. I don't know if I'm going to do a test, if I have the time to do a test, because I'm creating so much things that time becomes in the coming time and be busy to create the structures to deal with all the money that's created. So, but I've been challenged by the shamans. And they say, we want you to go into the jungle for 2 weeks. And the only thing you can bring is a sleeping bag and a hammock. And the rest is there in the jungle for you. Now, I'm not afraid to go there. I know for me it is actually easy to go because I'm not going in with my ego light on. I'm going in there with my pineal light on. So when your pineal light is on, you sense. I can sense where there's danger and where there's no danger, where's a good place to see. But I can always sense where I need to go. You see, this shaman that challenged me, she's very good in this, because the test that she went through to become a shaman, the shamans have tools. It could be a pipe, it could be a wand, it could be herbs, it could be a bag that you wear, whatever. They take your tools from you because the tools have your signature. So you have tools, and they hide them in the jungle, in different places. And you need to go in the jungle and only come back when you find your tools. If you don't find your tools, you are not allowed to come back.
And from intuition, you have to...
You have nothing else. You need to find it. You cannot come up with a plan. I'm going to sweep the Amazon left to right. You cannot do it. So you need to sense. And this power has been taken away from us. It's the power to sense. So what is giving to us the power of the ego? The power of the ego is the power of the slave. And what is the slave? And I'm not talking about people who are in prison, because we have them too. They have the true slaves. We are talking about the mental slaves. The most people live in slavitude because they're mental slaves. The prison is invisible. The prison is in their mind. They are imprisoned by tricks of their mind. So they can never find the power. And what you need to know about the ego determines the safety zone you're allowed to move in. And some people call it the comfort zone. There's another trick of the ego. You don't call it safety zone, you call it comfort zone. Yeah. It's the biggest bullshit. Yeah. It's not a comfort zone. You fucking hate it. You fucking don't like it. And they call it comfort zone. This is to fuck you up. This is to mess your mind, right? Okay. It's a safety zone. It is, when I was living in America, we had a huge property. 6.5 acres.
By the way, the people don't know who you are.
Of course not. I'm the mystery.
By the way,
you asked me how I was doing, right? We got this right.
We ended up to an Amazon. No, it's awesome. So interesting what you have to share. And
but who the fuck are you? Okay, I got the message.
Okay. First of all, can you please tell the viewers who are watching who is Roy Martina?
Okay, so the right name I would give to myself now is I'm a quantum time traveler. Okay. I don't pretend to be from the future like some YouTubers do, but I do know the different possibilities of the future. So, but there's a story before that. I started out being, as a child, diagnosed with all kinds of labels, from autism to brain damage, enfant terrible. I was very aggressive. My father was a police officer, and by the time I was 4, he locked me up twice without any effect. I was still crazy and that. And I had the feeling I didn't belong in this world, so I isolate myself from the world, and that was called autism. But autism can also be seen as a form of hypersensitivity, that the world is so much stimulus that you cannot digest them. It's too much. You go crazy, and your body is hyperactive because there's so much energy in your body. You don't know what to do with your body. You're just bouncing all the time, and you live in your own bubble. So that's how it began. And the psychologist sent me to judo, and in judo I had a sensei, a teacher, who called me champion, and I believed him. And I became a champion, became a world champion in martial arts. I have 3 world records that will never be broken because it's impossible to break them. I have the fastest knockout in the whole world in, I think, under 2 seconds. I have the most knockouts in one day, the most knockouts in over 100 knockouts in a row. Most of my knockouts are under 90 seconds. So anybody can try to break the record. It's impossible to break. So it can break. So that proved myself in the martial arts. Then I had to make a choice because I was also studying medicine. Do I want to continue a martial arts career and establish myself like that? But I thought that medicine was more attractive and it was less destructive because I was knocking people out and then I was trying to bring them back.
It's a good cycle.
All right, so then I became a doctor and I wanted to become a surgeon because I like to cut in people and to do things. So I want to do something, right? Not listen to boring stories about how miserable you are. Tell me what to cut out, I'll cut it out for you, right? That was easy. I thought that's cool. But then I had a car accident. In the car accident, I broke my neck. I had what we call out-of-body experience. Some people call it a near-death experience. I was not near-death. It was just out-of-body. I was somewhere else in a place that I describe as being peaceful, loving, kind. The same feeling most people get on cannabis. I think if there's in heaven, everybody's on cannabis. Everybody's happy. Everybody's chilling. We're chilling a lot, but we're learning as well in that world. But I went to that world, and nothing in me wanted to come back. But they told me it was not finished. So I came back, and my body was paralyzed from here all the way down, what you call quadriplegic. So I couldn't move. I was 100% head. It's a really strange feeling. If all you are is head, you go like, fuck, this is my place here. What am I doing here in my head? There's nothing else, right? You can't feel anything else. It's scary like hell. You truly understand what it is to be head. And then something happened that until today can only describe as a miracle. I believed a nurse came I was in intensive care. I was on, how we call a respirator, ventilator. And she touched my head, and 3 days later, wake up on a different department, neurological department. I could move my body again. But I never found the nurse. It was a mystery. I went back because I knew something happened I couldn't explain. I was a doctor, come on. I know what medicine can do, and I know what medicine cannot do. Medicine cannot cure a quadriplegic. It's impossible. The doctors couldn't explain it. They said, we don't know what happened. We can only say it's a miracle. They said, don't sport for 3 months because we don't know what's happened. Of course, the next week I was sporting. I did everything I can. So that was a really weird experience. But it changed my direction because I couldn't become a surgeon anymore. So I didn't know what to do. I landed a job as what you can call an interim doctor. I was, when the doctor had to go on a vacation, I would then go into practice, general physicians, I would do the practice, and I would be windsurfing all the time and teaching karate. That was my life, was windsurfing. The doctor's part was very boring for many reasons, but I didn't feel I was helping people. And then I still had some problems in my left shoulder, still is not 100%, but my physiotherapist sent me to acupuncturist. The acupuncturist started treating me, and after 4 or 5 treatments, my shoulder was much better. My hands were shaking. I stopped shaking. And then I said, fuck, this is good. So then I went to become an acupuncturist. Not because I wanted to, not that because I believed it, because I didn't believe in it. I thought it was all bullshit. But it helped, so I thought, okay, let me start to explore this. Then I started to research it because I didn't really believe it yet. So I started doing a lot of research, and all the people who came to me, if it didn't help, I would ask them to keep coming for free so I can research it. I became a very famous doctor, but something else was calling. So the first thing happened, I was first in Holland, actually in this city here, Maastricht. I started my practice here. Oh. I had a waiting list for almost 2 years at some point. It was world famous. People coming from everywhere, Australia, whatever, and Antilles, Suriname, other countries, even from the States. But then I made so much money that the taxes want to have a lot of it.
Yeah.
We went again. What they do best is fighting, so I went to fight with the tax people. But I decided I liked the better climate. That's when I went to the Antilles, because the tax system there is much more friendly, I would say.
Yeah.
But then I at some point I got fed up with people. I was too hyper to be in a room, for 12 hours a day. People were complaining, and even though I was helping a lot of people, it was not my nature to be in that place. So I had a calling to go to Los Angeles. I don't know why. In the meantime, I was already a millionaire many times. So because I had no time to spend my money. I was working all the fucking time. I was just spending money. So I decided I take a sabbatical. I go to Los Angeles. So I went to Los Angeles. I didn't know what the hell I was doing in Los Angeles. But the first thing I noticed in Los Angeles was smog. And I didn't like the smog. If you live on an island like Curacao and Aruba, where it is fresh wind all the time, it was horrible. So then I started making remedies for the smog. And then I got famous in America for my remedies. They're still being sold. Okay, that was interesting. But then I was teaching in all the states in America. I said, okay, this is so easy. There's no challenge. Let me look for a challenge. Then I ended up in Switzerland, and then in Holland. Then I start into remedies. I sold millions and millions of remedies all over the world. It got very boring. I said, I didn't have a calling. See, everything I was doing was easy. It was so easy. So then I decided, no, I don't want to do that. And then I start going into other directions. Then I start looking into spirituality world. I say, okay, what is these crazy people doing? They're talking about love. What the hell is love?
Yeah.
I went into that world. I mean, if you want to go in a dark world, dive into the spiritual world. So much bullshit, so much stories that are not true, and I couldn't make anything of it. I really tried. I talked with fairies, with angels, with trees, and everything else, and it helped, but it was not really giving me the answer I was looking for. And then in the meditation, I heard this voice, the voice saying, the Holy Grail is buried under hypnosis. And then I start looking into hypnosis. And I learned a lot about hypnosis, but no Holy Grail. And at the point, it was 2011, I said, fuck it. I spent over 200,000 euros in hypnosis without finding Holy Grail. I said, come on, guys, I'm not doing this anymore. And when I stopped, then it begins. It's the story, right? So I stopped searching. And I was giving a lecture for spiritual people in a place called Tennessee, Johnson City in Tennessee. And I was there. And at that time, I had a bestseller in America called Emotional Balance. And I went to the bookstore in that conference place to see if my books have arrived. And then I saw another book from a woman called Dolores Cannon, and on the book was the head of an extraterrestrial, the Greys with big black eyes and stuff, and it was called The Custodians. And, let me read that, because I'm fascinated by extraterrestrials. I do believe the sneaky bastards have been sneaking around for a long time.
Yeah.
They're here, but we don't see them. Why? So, and she was hypnotizing people who were abducted by aliens. I said, wow, this is interesting. I didn't even know about that. And then I said, maybe I've been abducted. Who knows, right? But the interesting thing was that the kind of hypnosis she was doing was different. It was called quantum healing hypnosis. So in 2012, I went to a workshop. No, 2011, I went to a workshop that she was giving in Stockholm. And then when she hypnotized a person, I knew in that moment that what she was doing was something else that I knew. I knew everything about hypnosis. I can hypnotize anyone on the street, anywhere. It's easy. But what she was doing was different. And she was connecting people to the higher self, to the real consciousness of people, which now I call the divine spark. And that intrigued me. And then the new path began 12 years ago. And then I discovered so much about the quantum field. And then I discovered something that now we call quantum jumping. Someone else also discovered something similar. Bert Goldman also did something quantum jumping. And I've never met him, I've never studied with him, but he was doing very similar but totally different. He learned new skill sets from other timelines. So his theory was that we have different timelines parallel to this timeline. And on each timeline, it is possible we've learned and mastered different skill sets. So he would go to the different timelines and learn skill sets from his other self that he called whatever, his clone. And so he learned to play the piano from himself in another timeline. He learned to paint, make beautiful paintings from himself. He learned feng shui from himself. I didn't know this, by the way, because I didn't follow him.
Yeah.
I found out later, people telling, oh, you're doing something like Bert Goldman.
Yeah.
I didn't know Bert, because I started looking at Bert. Oh, interesting. And I learned a lot from him. And one day I said, okay, I've jumped around in the field. I'll not. And then I discovered there's one me that was a billionaire. I said, fuck, this is fun.
Yeah.
And it's not that you believe it. It is not about believing. It's that you see it and you observe it and you go, now what happens? Okay, so we were in the safety zone. Then you go into the possibility zone. And so when you start quantum jumping, you jump outside of your own possibility zone, but you can jump in imagination zone, right? So you may believe what's possible, but you can imagine anything. And when you start jumping in the imagination zone, you come into the infinity zone. And in the infinity zone, everything is possible. Every fucking idea you have that you can desire is there. It's already there. So basically, what we call creation is already created. The only thing you need to do is to link yourself to that what already is. We call this quantum entanglement. So the more I can entangle with that what is in creation, then we learn from that what is in creation.
And then you get the signs from the universe if you entangle yourself to move yourself in that.
Yeah, that is another phase. So there are different phases into that. So first you want to know what's possible.
Yeah.
So I jumped and I want to see, just for my own knowledge, can I be that rich? I mean, I'm well off. Let's say I have no complaints in my life, right? I don't need, I've driven the Ferrari, I lived in the villas, I've done all of that. So I know I'm just living wherever I want. I'm more a nomad and I need to be in a place. I can live anywhere. I will be spending the summer in Thailand, or I spend May in Curacao, wherever. I can be anywhere I want to be. So it's not about wanting anymore. It's about imagining what's possible. And if you imagine what's possible, then you need to know why would you do that what's possible. Why would I want to be a billionaire? Just because it's possible. Does it resonate with me? So then you need to start doing your research. I need to start asking questions. Who do you ask questions best to? Is the one who's living that life.
Yeah.
So the first phase of quantum jumping is to observe what's possible. And then you make a choice. What is it that you want? Because if you jump in the possibility zone, you can jump in a place that you didn't even know existed. You didn't imagine it. So I learned to jump beyond what I can imagine. I just ask questions. Okay, show me a life where I'm one of the richest person on this planet. I don't even know if I want it. Because if I don't like it, I don't want it. Do you understand the difference?
Yeah, I get it, yeah.
I can say I want to be the richest guy on the planet, but do I want to be the richest guy?
If you're there, then you're like, yeah, well, do I
really want it? Does it make my heart sing?
Yeah.
Does this make me happy? Does it make me want to wake up in the morning? Does it make me to go like, oh, I don't want to go sleep. There's so much fun still to have.
Yeah.
But I'll do tomorrow. I can go on with my fun tomorrow. So then you start jumping to that and you start seeing, wow, the way this guy is living his life, I want that. I now desire something I didn't even know I could desire. That's quantum. So as long as you're desiring what you think you're desiring, you're still in the possibility zone, but you didn't reach the infinity zone. The infinity zone is when you discover things that are way beyond what you can imagine. So once I discover that, I go back to my bag of tricks. My bag of tricks is this. I create a vision board first.
Yeah.
And so in the middle of the vision board, I put a cover of Forbes magazine. On the cover, there's me. Of course, I did a little, I almost was a surgeon. I did a little surgery. I found a guy. He was the first South African billionaire, and he was on the cover of Forbes magazine. So I took that cover and I did a little surgery. I put my head on his body. We have the same skin tan. So I said, okay. And now I have this cover of, and I put under it the first Antillian billionaire, because where I'm from the Netherlands Antilles, we don't have billionaires. We won't have one until I come. Right? So I put that under. Now there's a trick that most people don't know, because quantum is magic. Quantum is not logic. Quantum is magic. Quantum is feeling. Quantum is not calculations. Quantum is knowing how to move energy. And moving energy is first creating a focal point for the energy to move towards. Yeah. So I put that there. Nowadays we have better tools. I create an app to do this stuff. The app that I have called Quantum Life App is created for me to manifest the billions. Of course, we will sell it to others because a lot of money went into create this app. We're now over 400,000 euros just to create an app for me to become a billionaire. Did you understand a little bit how my mind is working? We'll get into the app a little bit later. So I create the vision board, and now the magic begins. Because every time I am in front of the vision board, I am in front of the portal. You see, most people don't know about portals. Portals are interdimensional gateways to another timeline, to another dimension, to another star system, to another planet, or to magic, or to another world. These are portals. There are places on this planet that are portals to the good, the portals to the bad. You need to know where the portals are. Some people talk about power places. They are portals. You just need to know that. Their portals are closed, their portals are open. But you have the power to open your own portal, your own wormhole to another timeline, to another dimension. There are many dimensions that are fun to explore. Yeah, you go have fun with dragons. You got the dragon. You can go in the shamanic world. You can go in the fairy world. You can go in the angel world. There's so many dimensions. I spent 6 years just exploring dimensions. But that's not practical. That's fun, right? So now you create a portal. And the portal brings you now to a timeline that's parallel onto this timeline. So this timeline coexists in the same time that I'm existing here. So in the same time that you're here, there are other parallel times where you're also there. And you experience other parts of the infinite possibilities that are there. But the trick that most people miss is that you can jump to another timeline. Okay, so what I teach is jumping, but I didn't teach all the secrets yet because I need to find the secrets to teach the secrets. So only when I become the multi-billionaire that I'm becoming, I know I found all the secrets. I have all the keys. And then I can give the keys to the world. That is the easy part. And I think I have all the keys now. All right, so now it's a matter of proof. Because I'm saying I'm a billionaire. Sure, it's fun. You can believe me or not. Yeah. But I'm going to deliver proof. I'm going to start this year deliver proof. By actions I will take. But next year is the time of coming out. Coming out with a big bang. That's the time that everything is in place. I got my own media companies. I got my own publishing companies. I got everything in place, my own platforms. The only thing I need to do is pull the plug, and then the show begins. It's going to begin with an incredible show where we're going to give away hundreds of millions of euros just to prove we have it. Do you understand? Now people are going to say, you must fucking have to. If you can give 100 million.
Yeah. That's crazy enough, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, crazy.
I'm going to give away cars to friends. Just to say thank you for how they helped me on my way, how they inspired me. So that's what happened next year. I'm not worried if people believe me or not. I'm living in my dream.
Yeah.
So you create a portal, and then the journey begins. So what happens next? I meet a billionaire in a podcast or in a documentary that's never been published, by the way. I've been invited for a documentary about the law of attraction, and there are 3 people there, and a scientist, a neuroscientist, me, and the guy who says he's a billionaire. And he did it with quantum physics. I go, okay.
Yeah.
I've already manifested a guy who did it, right? I didn't know that he didn't do it, but he believed he did because he's following the fake it until you make it thing. So and what you have to do, you have to believe you're a billionaire. You have to walk like a billionaire. You have to talk like a billionaire. You have the mindset of a billionaire. He's playing the billionaire. I mean, whatever. But it's a nice story. So he needs to play that role. So I asked him to be my mentor. And I learned all his tricks. And then I went testing the tricks. I improved the tricks. I make them even shorter. He's spending every day 1 hour in bed. I think I sometimes do it. If I wake up at 4 in the morning, I don't want to get up, I can stay in bed meditating till 2. But if I wake up at 5, I don't sleep so much. Then I get up, whatever. I do my exercises, my other things. But he spends every day 1 hour to just imagine being a billionaire. And he explains how synchronicity works, how he's going to do it, blah. So I got that, but I also have my own backup tricks. So I got my vision board, then I made my app, and then I discovered the missing elements. So you have the safety zone, now you have the possibility zone, now you have the infinite possibility zone. So now you have to fixate your focus on a particular timeline, the timeline of your choice. We call this the coordinates. You need now the coordinates of your jump. So you need to jump to that coordinate. And you can, on that timeline, you can jump in the future, you can jump parallel, you can jump to the back, you can jump anywhere you want to go. That's not the point. So and then you start the jumping process. And that requires training. What I've discovered over time, that I'm good in jumping, but not all my channels are open. Okay, so I'm more auditory, but I want to see. I want to see what's going on. So then you start experimenting with herbs. I started experimenting with cannabis, with all kinds of things to find how can I open that up more and more and more. And then I made a discovery, and the discovery was frequencies. Because I know the quantum field is about frequencies and vibrations. So I was studying that. And so then I discovered that the most important thing I need to open is my pineal gland. Because that's where I was missing power. Yeah. So I created stuff for myself again to open my pineal gland. Now a lot of people are using that. So I have one called pineal tuning. And the only thing this does, it is you can train your pineal gland with this drop. It's based on CBD oil. First I tried cannabis, but cannabis was too erratic. Yeah. It doesn't bring me everything. I can take a little bit of wheat oil and a little bit of CBD oil. Okay. So I've been tuning, but when I tune into the CBD oil, the right frequencies, then I can open the pineal gland. And once I could open the pineal gland, my God, now the quantum field is mine. And the next trick I learned through that is called ownership. So you have a dream, you located your dream, you have the coordinates to your dream, now you need to own your dream. So now you start now to bring the dream into you. And you need to now learn how to hold these frequencies. So the way you do it, so you jump to your coordinates, you see yourself into your dream life. So first you observe. So for the things I observed that in that life I had no hair. Now I have no problems with baldness. My hair grows. I need to shave my head every day. But my billionaire self has no hair. I think, okay, that's the easy part. Yeah. It was a little emotional, but you know hair. You don't shave your hair just like that. But I started doing it because he was doing it. And I saw he's a Zen master. Nothing in the world makes this guy lose his cool. He's always in that exact space. I don't call it control, I call it peace. He's just observing there. He's seeing everyone and everything that comes in there. He knows the person who comes in. He knows the intention. He has a file on everyone. He knows everyone. The file is here, right? That's cool. I want that.
Yeah.
So desire gets stronger. So in the observation, you learn all sort of things. I learned about the different planes that he has. And then I got further. I said, why do you have so many planes? He said, well, there are different things we do with these planes. Number one, we give workshops all over the world. I take teams, hundreds of people. We're giving workshops to 40,000 people and more. You have an enormous team to do that. So we do that. In the time that we are not doing that, we're using the plane because we bring herbs from the Amazon to different places. We do this, we do that, we do charity. There's a whole plan for this whole thing. And he has a company. It's called Dragonfly. And that's the company of Ireland. Did I know? Dragonfly, who comes up with this idea. So you're observing, but you're not observing from the standpoint of view from I want this. You're observing from the standpoint of view what is possible. Do I like it? Do you understand? You need to have desire because desire creates the drive. If I don't want it, I don't go there. I go where I want to go, where I feel good. So that's where you learn. Now you're getting information out of the quantum field. Now you can say it's my imagination. Good. You can believe what you want to believe. But what you're bringing back are the vibrations. So for that, there are two more steps. Step 2 is now, I want to ask questions. I'm curious. How do you do this? How do you do that? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? And then slowly but surely, you start understanding. It's like a plan, but the plan is not that the plan you had to get there is a plan that developed over time. So the more power you get, you see, I don't need billions to be happy. I don't need billions to live. I couldn't care less because my association with billions until this moment was work. So one thing I hate is more work. I have enough busyness of myself. I don't want busyness. I want the opposite of busyness. I want to be able to delegate and just watch. I want to just observe things to happen. So then you observed, you like it, so now you go to the next step. I need information. I need guidance. So now my coach becomes myself in the future. So if I have a question, should I go A or should I choose B?
Ooh, yeah.
I go to my coach. My coach, I did B. This is easy. Okay, I go B.
Yeah.
So your art of sensing, once your pineal gland is open, becomes much stronger. You're following the path that's invisible, and then you start getting signs. You see, so there are two things: sensing, but you can ask. I can sense the answer. I ask, what did you do in this situation? That's sensing. And then you follow, and then you get confirmations all over the time. I get confirmation, a billionaire shows up. Then through that billionaire, the story continues. What happens is the billionaire gets into a relationship. That person that's in a relationship is now my business partner, and she has a dream about new education. I have a dream about new clinics. So we combine powers. So we create together. And she understands what this billionaire has a very good understanding of the work of finances, what really is happening on the level that's invisible to us as, let's say, citizens. We don't see the backside of what happens behind the money. And that knowledge is there. So he had the knowledge and she got the knowledge. And she became a business partner. And with that knowledge, we went into that world where money is made. That world is, you cannot believe it.
Yeah.
But what are they doing right now is interesting. So what they're doing, they're buying up, literally, it sounds crazy, they're buying up all the cash in the world.
Yeah.
And they're replacing with digital.
Yeah.
Okay, it's happening right now.
Even with the stores that I'm working on, it's all digital now.
Everything goes to
cash.
digital.
Yeah.
So what happens now, that matter disappears, matter, representation of matter disappears. So if I give you $100, you got $100. You spent $100, it's still $100. Another person spent it, it's still $100. But if you do digital, the bank take a little bit from you. and a little bit here and a little bit there. By the time that circulates around, it's not $100 anymore. It is much less.
Yeah.
So they're stealing from you without you knowing it. So what's happening in the world now, everything goes digital. There's a counter movement that more and more are starting to buy stuff that have value. Gold, diamonds, all those kind of things. So there's an opportunity created in that field. People are looking for things of value. And that's where the money is. You need to be able to locate things of value. So, for example, did you know that the dictator called Marcos of the Philippines hid billions and billions in the Philippines with poor people who don't know? They just told you need to watch over this. They're watching over things they don't know what the worth is of those things. Now imagine that you get in contact with these people and you tell them what it's worth. They don't believe what it's worth. They prefer to have less than the value of it because they cannot handle it. So that's the magical world that's outside of the other world. So now we help those that want asset to buy assets. That's all there is. And you don't need much, right? But it's a whole deep world. And it's not so interesting for most people because this is a world that you don't get in easily.
Yeah, it's a whole different...
it's a total different level. There's a door, but you need to be able to find the door. So we got into the door. So we are in that. So now we are into the manifestation process. So it's not a matter if, it's a matter when. And when it comes, there's a purpose for that. You see, so the second step was asking questions. How did you do it? Then the third step is feeling how it feels.
Yeah, how can you make the difference between your intuition speaking to you, that your coach is saying, okay, do this, or your ideal self, or how do you make the difference that literally your brain is saying, maybe this choice is better. For example, if you should I be together with this girl? Should I make this decision, this financial decision? How do you make the difference?
No, okay, you can only make decisions if you have a big plan, a bigger plan. Where do you want to go? You need to have a fixed point. Yeah. You see, for me, the fixed point is not being a billionaire, being a multi-billionaire. I'm aiming for being a centibillionaire. A centibillionaire is over 100. If you're aiming for that, even if you fail, you always feel good. You see, that's the art of failing. If I'm aiming for 200 billion and I only get 100 billion, I'll complain a day or two. But then life goes on, right? It's not a bad failure.
Yeah, it's good to do. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like failing in that way. But you have to have that thing. Now, that what you want, you need to qualify it on your values. What are your values? And your values will give you the satisfaction and the happiness you're seeking. So if you have a high value in, for example, giving or having an impact or, helping certain kind of people, or, if you have a value, I don't care how I get the money as long as I get the money and I just want to spend money, everything is good. You see, the one thing we need to get out of is that this is bad, that is not good. We need to get out of duality. We need to get into unity, and unity is pleasure. Yeah. You see, if that what I want gives me the ultimate pleasure, then the second pleasure I need to develop is the pleasure to be on the way to get what I want that gives me pleasure. If I can make the path of getting there pleasurable, I'm already having the pleasure of the future pleasure I want to have. I'm already vibrating now with the vibration I need to vibrate in the future, and then it's automatic. So the whole imagination game is asking yourself, if I would be a billionaire, and billionaire is just a metaphor. You didn't have to choose to be a billionaire just because your ego thinks it's good to be a billionaire. You need to choose for financial freedom, whatever that means to you. Yeah. That's the first escape.
That's exactly my on my vision board there.
Right.
Yeah, that's
to escape the rat race.
Yeah.
You see, when you escape the rat race, you have more choice. Now you can choose what you like. But the question is, are you going to escape the rat race through hard work, to sacrifice, or are you going to escape the rat race with pleasure? So there are all these questions you need to ask yourself.
What is your opinion? about
My
these?
opinion is simple, that life is just about how much pleasure you can get.
You have to put in work to get out of it, right? Like
Hmm?
you have to like put in work to put in effort to get out of it, or not?
That's a thought. Is it true?
That's what everybody is doing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you change the thought, I give you a new thought. You have to vibrate with what you have, with what you want to attract. And that's all that there is to it. There's nothing else. That effort of vibration, is it hard work to vibrate at that point?
Yeah, probably not.
No. So what you need is references. So if you say I want financial freedom, you need to know how it feels to be financially free.
Mm-hmm.
If you can feel how it is to be financially free, I'm not saying it's having the money, it's having the feeling. The feeling is the vibration.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you can hold that vibration despite the fact you don't have the money, then the universe got a problem. Because you're vibrating on another level than your current existence. The universe cannot tolerate people vibrating on a place they don't belong. So the universe has to solve the problem. If you're solving the problem, it takes effort. If the universe is solving the problem, it takes no effort.
And it takes trust on the universe, right?
No, the trust is am I vibrating right?
Yeah.
That is what you need to know, to trust. For the rest, it's mechanics.
Mm.
You cannot jump off a building and say, I don't believe in the law of gravity. I don't believe in the law of gravity. I don't believe in the law of gravity. How long are you going to say it before you hit the floor? Okay? Do you understand?
Yeah.
So you need to have the vibration that you can jump off the building and knowing you're going to land soft.
Yeah.
Okay? But that is the moment that just, maybe a truck is passing with mattresses on it.
Yeah.
Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. But how
That is the timing.
how can you think like that when everything around you is saying otherwise?
Exactly. The whole point is that we live in a world that emphasizes failure. We live in a world that wants everyone to vibrate at its own vibration. So if you start to vibrate another vibration, the world doesn't like that. It needs to bring you down. So the trick is, can you maintain your vibration in a world that's not vibrating with you?
It's hard.
That's all.
Yeah.
So if someone tells me what I'm doing is impossible, it's a confirmation of my vibration. If someone tells me you're full of shit, it's a confirmation of my vibration. If someone attacks, I just came out with this new CBD oil series called the Quantum Drops. I've been attacked. By whom? By other people in the CBD business. Of course. They see an orca coming.
Yeah.
They're running. They need to attack the orca. This is a bad orca. This orca only wants money. This orca is chasing you, and they're using bad products. They have terrible ingredients. You cannot trust this orca that's coming. Why are they doing that? They're sensing danger. For me, it's a confirmation. The more they move, the more they scream, the more I'm confirmed in what I'm doing. So I look at the world and I look at those that are screaming and yelling and telling me things that they believe I can, or they tell me things that they say who I am. I don't care. Last year I gave a workshop called Manifestation. Some of my best friends pretending to be spiritual. They're spiritual teachers. They believe they are. They tell me I cannot do that. I bring myself down by talking about money. Spiritual people don't do that. And then I ask him a question. Do you have money? Hey, do you have money? Are you financially free? He said, no. I said, don't talk with me about money. Do you understand the difference?
Yeah.
So they will tell you what you shouldn't do. But I do exactly what I feel is right to do, despite what people tell me. Okay?
Yeah.
So when your pineal gland is on, when you train the pineal gland.
By the way, is feminine energy or feminine power more of that pineal and intuitive side? Is that true?
No, okay. So first, it's a misunderstanding about feminine and masculine.
Yeah.
There's no feminine and masculine. It's a polarity. Okay, what you have is a feminine body and a masculine body. But the spirit can be whatever it wants. Look at the gender confusion right now.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you? I don't know. Call me it. All right? No, give me a whole alphabet, LGBT. I got it all. I got all the colors of the rainbow. People are fucking confused. You can tell me masculine, feminine? Have you seen the feminine nowadays?
Yeah.
I don't want to be the fucking feminine walking around. Have you seen the masculine? I don't want to be that either. Do you understand what I'm talking about? So when people talk masculine, feminine, it's polarization of that what is. It's a confusion. The same people were feminine now were masculine before. They fucked up the system and now they're feminine. They say the man fucked up the system. Not true. The mothers fucked up the system as much as the man. They educated the boys, and you're blaming the boys now that they're doing what they've been educated to do. And the feminine way is better? No, fuck you. Now, so let's talk what's really is going on. Is that in everything there is, you need the two powers. You need power of destruction and you need power of creation, both at the same time. That is how creation works. So you need to have the fire, right? To create the fire is a certain quality of energy. You can call that masculine, you can call it yang. But you need the opposite of that. You call it water, or you can call it feminine. The name is just a label for two original powers in the universe. That's the power of creation. In the unity is both. It is not separated. Unity is masculine and femininity in one. Now, in us, we have the unity as well, but we choose polarity. Say, I'm a man. You're not a man. You are in a masculine body. That's a difference.
True.
But you are not a man. You're not even human. You're not even human. You're an extra fucking terrestrial embodying a body on a human planet. That's all it is.
Yeah.
If you don't understand it, you don't understand anything. You're confused about what you are. So the first thing you realize, okay, I'm in a masculine body. I've obviously chosen to be in a masculine body. Maybe that's a reason for me to be in a masculine body. I come to experience how it is to be in a masculine body. For me, I've chosen to be masculine because it's a body type I like. But in this body type, first I was trained in the masculine arts of being man. By my father, by my martial arts, how to be a man, how to conquer, and so on and so on. But when you go into the pineal gland, you discover there's much more.
Yeah.
That's just a part of creation.
Yeah. And my question was, does the feminine energy or the feminine side, let's say, have the intuitive part? Or
no, okay, just again, forget feminine. Okay. There are feminine who are blind as a bat.
Yeah.
They're man, they're super intuitive. Yeah. Okay? Forget the feminine. Okay? Yeah. We're just talking about intuition.
Yeah.
Intuition is in the pineal gland.
Okay.
It doesn't depend, it's a female body or a man body. Let's start with that. So we begin in a body, and it's female or female or masculine. But in design, the pituitary gland is in both the same.
Yeah.
That's your power. All right?
The same.
It's exactly the same. Now, bring me a woman and I train her as a man, you will have a masculine female. Okay? Yeah. Doing like a man, hitting like a man, walking like a man, talking like a man, a lot of masculine power. I just had one in my initiation. Like a man. And I was teaching her, you don't need that shit anymore. You don't need to play the man. The power you have is inside of you. You can choose to be feminine. You can choose to be masculine. I said most people are fixated on one or the other. It's just a fixation. So now, as a man, my second part of my journey and becoming what I'm becoming now was developing my feminine side. And that I did what is called feminine, which is not feminine. Do you see what I'm saying? Was the pituitary, the pineal gland. To connect with that part.
Yeah.
And when I connect with that part, I get into something that I couldn't see before, another quality of power. And when I would define that quality of power, it will be more caring, it's softer, it is more lazy in a way. It is not that hard-hitting go, go, go. I'm a champion of masculine power. I knock them all out. I'm the end of the food chain, baby. Do you see?
Yeah.
I'm an apex predator. But that doesn't bring me where I want. That couldn't bring me to become a billionaire. That power will destroy me trying to become it. That's not the power I can use. I need another power. And that power you will describe as the feminine. I describe it as just a power, a softer power, more caring power. And when I tune into that power, it wants me to take care of the world. It wants me to take care of humanity. It wants me to take care of people. That other power doesn't give a shit. Let's show the fucking world. Hey guys, I can do it, you can do it. You see what I'm saying? Follow me, we got the power. That does not lead to where we want to go. That doesn't go to the new world where we want to live in. There's more of that power. Also in that power, I can be the apex predator. I can show the world, look, I'm an apex predator. I'm here in the top 100 of the richest people in the world. And then so what? What am I going to do with that power? That's where the other power comes in. That's the power that you have labeled as feminine, but it's not feminine. It's just balance in two energies. And the Chinese saw it the best. They call it yin and yang. They didn't call it... they didn't call it masculine and feminine. They described the power in a neutral way. They could look at a man and say, you're too yin or too yang, or you're imbalanced. They can look at the women and say, oh, you're too much on this side. You need to develop more this side. You need to stop meditating, start doing kickboxing. You understand what I'm saying? It's the balance that is the power. It is not the one over the other. It's not the feminine is going to do much better now because the masculine did so bad. No, it is the balance in everyone that is going to change the world. It's only when the women comes into the balance and stop blaming the man for suppressing them, because they were part of the same story, because they were not in their power. And men were not in their power. Men were afraid of the feminine, what they called feminine power, the intuition. They called them the witches. You never heard of a witch man. They were witch women. You understand?
Yeah, that's true.
Because they were the danger to their power. Einstein said it best. Einstein said, the highest intelligence is intuition. It's a matter of intelligence. The lowest intelligence is logic.
How do you train it? Train it.
How do you train? Well, I just give 2 days of training into magic. You see, the magic is the more what you would call the feminine.
Okay.
It is, when you look at the feminine way, if you would now look at the people who do the full moon shit, okay? Most are feminine.
Yeah, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why are men not doing that?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like literally.
Exactly. So, men are afraid of magic. Very simple. You see, there are a lot of movies of strong men could not defeat magic. You understand? So we're afraid of magic as men. The masculine is the hunter. Okay? The man goes out into the danger. The man needs a different way of intuition. The man needs the alertness, the listening, the feeling, the sensing of danger. You see, the women, when they're protected, they can take care of what's needed there. When the men come back wounded because they try to kill a bear, they tend to the man, right? But then there's also that when you come to a shaman, that even though the many men are shaman, but also women can be shaman, right? But the men who become shaman are those that have developed that other side. But nobody's telling, oh, you're a feminine shaman. You understand? They mastered the feminine arts that we think is feminine. But it's not feminine at all. It's in everyone. So how do you train that? Well, I tell people the following. When you close your eyes, what do you see? Okay? Most people close their eyes, they see shit, they see nothing. Okay. They close their eyes and say, okay, what now? All right, so if you would know that the moment you close your eyes, you have shut off your senses of your body, and you can go anywhere you want to go. So when I close my eyes, I am in a magical world. Immediately, I close my eyes, I'm in a magical world. I'm somewhere, I don't know where I'm going to land. It could be a surprise. Because when I close my eyes, I just jump into the magic of the world. So first I start creating the magic. I say, okay, where do I want to be? I've learned a lot from nature. So I create a magical place in nature with a magical tree. There are fairies there. There are smart magical animals there. Of course, there's a smart witch with white magic, of course. The wizards come there. I meet Merlin. I meet other wizards. You can create this world of magic. When you do, you enter the world of magic. Because everybody has access to all the dimensions, all the worlds there is. But it requires some training. And when you add magic to your life, it becomes a different life. Because why do we need magic? Because magic is that what is not logical. Logic cannot go where magic goes. Logic wants the science of magic. There is a method to magic. But it's not scientific. The method is to feel your way. You can get directions by someone else who felt their way and can give you some tricks that they discovered. But in the end, you need to create your own magic. And it starts just by imagining. So it's actually imagining is creating magic. And if you look at Disney, when you look at Mickey Mouse, you can go and say, hey, this is fantasy. But is it possible that Mickey Mouse really exists in someone's mind? If Mickey Mouse exists in someone's mind, it's real in another dimension. It's a creation.
Yeah.
So Mickey Mouse is real. And so there's much more magic we can create. We can create a movie called Star Wars and believe this is fantasized, or we can tap into infinity where it exists.
Yeah.
So magic is beyond logic.
Yeah.
So if you want to create with magic, you need to create a style. You need to have a formula. You need to have, if you come from NLP, you have to have anchors. You have to have points that you do. So full moon can be an anchor. So we just had a full moon 2 days ago. So I did the full moon magic. I showed people magic they never have seen. But I was not the one showing the magic. It was the moon showing them the magic. I talked for the moon. I let the moon talk through me. And the only thing I did was open myself and said to the moon, talk. Now, I believe I was not talking. You can believe I am talking. I know it was the moon that was talking. Other people tell me the moon cannot talk. Of course the moon cannot talk. That's logic. The moon can only talk in magic.
Intuition.
So now the question is, what does the moon want to tell me? That's magic. And if I listen to the moon, I get direction. I can walk up to a tree and ask the tree for advice. I was with these mamos, these are spiritual leaders, and they live in tribes. And I asked them, okay, how do you solve conflicts? They said, we talk to a tree. The tree solves the conflicts. The tree has an answer for everyone. They talk to fucking trees. They solve conflicts through trees. How can you explain that to a Western guy who comes there and says, listen, we talk to trees. We have a problem, we talk to a tree, and then we don't have a problem. How is that possible? And they're happy. Come on, they're happy. Right? Do you want to be happy? Yes, I want to be happy. Do some magic. Talk to a tree. You know what I'm saying? So magic is beyond the logic. But behind the logic, there's another logic that the logic cannot understand. But there is a logic. What they discover in quantum science, that what seems to be chaos, there's a structure in the chaos. But the scientific mind sees chaos. But in the chaos, there is a logic. But a logic that the science cannot understand. And that logic is magic. And once you start discovering that everything talks back to you, if you're driving home, the same road, same every day, and one day something happened that is different, all of a sudden there's a rabbit sitting on the road and is not moving. It's just blinded by the light of your car. You never had a rabbit sit in front of you like that. So what do most people do? They go on the klaxon and the rabbit comes out of shock, runs away, and they go home. Now I ask people, did you know how much magic it took to put that rabbit on your road towards your home? So now the question is, what was the message for you? You see the difference? So one sees a rabbit and drives through. The other sees a rabbit, interesting, a rabbit, and drives through. The other one says, what is the message of the rabbit for me? Now you're in the magic world. Now the magic world can talk to you.
You have to accept it in a way. So be open for
You
it.
asked for it.
Yeah.
You had an intention, didn't you? The field is checking how you get answers.
Receive it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you listening? Are you aware? A lot of people say, I'm awake. Oh, I know about COVID. I know about the elite. You're not fucking awake, my friend. You're awake in the matrix.
Yeah.
Now you notice the matrix. Okay, what you gonna do about the matrix? Nothing. I'm awake. You're still in the fucking matrix, my friend. You're not awake at all.
Full.
You just woke up in another dream.
Yeah.
And the dream says you're awake, but you're still in a dream. So now, how do you become a lucid dreamer? How do you influence the dream is the question. And you're only free when you can influence the dream. And you can create your own matrix. And now you have a matrix in the matrix. That's what freedom is. Freedom is that we will not be maybe able to change the matrix in itself, but we can create another matrix that we live in. So going back to your drive or desire to create communities, it's a way to escape the matrix.
True.
It is to create a other matrix where you live according to other rules. That's all it is. And if that creates more happiness, why not do it?
While helping people and ecological, of course.
That's what the ego says.
I'm trying to.
It's okay.
It's hard, but isn't that the same thing that you want to become a billionaire? Like I want to create the community and like make a living about it and help people. You want to create show the world that is multi-billionaire is possible by all of these strategies. What is the difference then? Like both are ego, right?
Not necessarily. You see, you want something. That's ego. I don't want anything. I see an opportunity. I'm playing a game. That's all. I'm just playing a game. I'm just exploring the game. I don't want anything. I'm just playing. My ego is happy. My ego is in a beautiful coma. It's just drinking pina colada. It's having a good life. It doesn't have to do anything. It doesn't have to prove anything. Now we're playing a game. And the only question is, how far can we get in the game? You see, you think you're saving people. That's the ego. You're not saving anything, right? You need to understand that everything happens exactly the way it's going to happen. The question is, do you know what's going to happen? If you have a pineal gland, you can predict what's going to happen.
Oh.
You need to explore. And then the question is, do I want to be on the timeline? Because there are many timelines for this planet. So I want to see if I can bend the reality, not for me, but for many. You see, I know the story of this planet, and it's not important that people know the story about the planet. What's important, if you know why the planet is where it is, the why. Spiritual people don't know the why. They have a lot of stories. But there's a why, there's a reason why it has to be just now like this. So let me tell you a story. So if it has to be like it is now, that we all co-created that what we're co-creating now, the question is is it going to be like this, or it is another opportunity? And the only other opportunity that can exist is if enough people see that opportunity. So some of the people see and sense the opportunity, but they only see part of the opportunity. So you are linked to the opportunity in one way, but you see part of the opportunity, and the part that you see gives you a calling to do something, but you're part of the same thing. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So you're there, you are resonating with that what's coming. The new world will come. The darkness, the only name I can give for it, darkness. I don't talk about the elite. I don't talk about, the cabal or that kind of things. These are beautiful metaphors for something that people don't know what it is. So you need to find a story to tell what it is. Humans want to blame. By blaming, you create the victim state, right? So he's saying, they do that. Okay. So what does that mean to you? What is it that you're going to do about that, what they are doing? Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's not, I don't fight the darkness. I don't hate the darkness, because the darkness has a function. It's not there for nothing. If I would ask people who are religious, right? There's so many religious people that believe in God. It's okay. So if there's a God, who created the darkness? Who created the cruelty? Who created that suffering on this planet? Oh, the devil. Okay. Who created the devil? Yeah, God sent the devil out from heaven. Okay. So God sent the devil from heaven to the earth. Why would God do that? So who is the creator of the evil?
The good guy.
Exactly. And then they will be stuck in the program. They don't know the answer. They cannot answer that. But if God created evil, was God stupid to create evil?
Yeah, that probably had a purpose.
Hello?
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
So here, me, mini God, I'm going to interfere in the plan of Maxi God. Is that my purpose? Do you follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the thinking that most people have. Then they say, no, I'm not the mini God, so I'm not going to interfere in that purpose. So it's a cycle that you can only understand if you know the why. So the why of the darkness is for the light to see itself. Only when the light awaken and shine its light on the darkness, they will discover there was never a darkness. There was only the absence of light. There was no darkness. But in the darkness, what did we put in the darkness? Oh, evil, the devil only works, is most powerful at night, right? Ghosts, they walk around at night, right? The bad things happen at night, right? So the more you put into the darkness that you don't like, you're creating the darkness by what you put in the darkness. So who created the darkness? Those that didn't shine the light on the darkness. Those who were afraid of the darkness created the darkness. So it is the people who are in fear were the ones that created hell. Do you understand what's going? So now you have the full circle. So the only reason we have darkness and the elite and blah, 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 blah is that enough people are afraid of their own light.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
They're afraid of their own light. Yeah. They're afraid of their own greatness. And because they're afraid of their own greatness, the ego has full control. The ego said, here's the safety zone. Here you are safe. If you go out there, this is the unknown. And the unknown, we don't know what can happen. You cannot trust the unknown. Bad things can happen. So what do? You stay in the safety zone. 90+% of the people are struggling in the safety zone, while they have talents that are greater than they can ever know. The best ideas you find in the graveyard. The best books never written. The best songs never sung.
Yeah.
The best poems never written. Yeah. They're all there in the cemetery because people stayed in the safety zone. You understand? True. As long as we stay in the safety zone, who will complain about darkness and will find the logic to the darkness. Oh, it is Vanguard, it is BlackRock, it is this, it is the Cabal, it is this. No, it's the reptilians. No, it is that. There's so many stories. Do you know that in many tribes and folklores, they have all these stories? They all tell stories. But in some tribes, they tell
voodoo. The voodoo.
The voodoo.
Yeah.
But in some tribes, they tell other stories. The stories that they tell is that once there came from the sky, these beings came from the sky. They taught us many things, they helped humanity. And these beings promised that one day they will come back and to see how we did. They will come back one day. So we have to live up to the standards that they taught us. We have to stay in harmony with nature. We need to listen to the energy. We need to feel their energy. Some of these tribes understand more about the stars than the people go to school here in the Western world. They know more about harmony than the people go to school who get super educations. They go to universities. They drive fancy cars. They believe in the ignorance that they know a lot. And they know nothing. This is the system that we created in our arrogance. We created ignorance. And through the ignorance, we create darkness. And the darkness is everywhere. So we need to blame it. So we need to label it. People like labels because people are simple. They like labels. So it's masculine, it's feminine, it is the Cabal, it is this, the reptilians, it is this or that. Oh, they are feeding on your fear. If they're feeding on your fucking fear, why are you afraid?
Yeah.
You know it. Why are you feeding them? Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Why are you feeding them?
Yeah, you're giving it energy, you're giving it power, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love the darkness is how you shine your light on the darkness.
Yeah.
Have no judgment, just love. You see, there are only three things in creation: drive, desire, and love. But you can do the opposite. Instead of love, you can put hate. Then you create darkness. You can put anger, you put fear. If love is not in the equation of drive and desire, it will not work. You see, a lot of business people don't believe in love, but they don't know what love is. Love is the force of life. When you diminish the life force, the body starts to degenerate. As a doctor, I had clients, billionaire clients. I had celebrities, top of the top. I lived in Los Angeles. I had these people's clients. And you see that they have the same problems as we have. Actually, sometimes their problems are bigger than we have because it's bigger projected into the world.
Yeah.
And I worked with these people. And then you see they're in the same prison as we are. They just have a trick. And then some have contracts with darkness, is that they're used by what we call the darkness. They're used to bring out more connection to that. But it's just the absence of light. If you shine your light, if you're in connection with your light, they can kill you. But if you're connected through your pineal gland, they will not find you where they think you're going to be to kill you. Because you're going to show up there where you're not going to end up.
Yeah, I get it.
Why you be afraid?
Oh, and then they are trying to keep us from connecting with our pineal gland.
Well,
at least.
If you look at the facts, I don't talk about it. You see, darkness likes itself more than light likes itself. If you look at the problem we're facing, the biggest problem is self-love. People don't even love themselves, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't love yourself, what do you love? Darkness loves itself. That's why it's so powerful. It loves itself. It is itself. It is congruent. The light is not congruent. See, the light is not yet where it is. So if you look at the pineal gland, it's just not knowing. People don't have the knowledge to know, you know. So your pineal gland is attacked from all sides. The shampoo you use is created. The teeth, what you brush your teeth with, fluor in it, shampoo, they have other stuff in it. So when you wash your hair, you are in fumes of chemicals. People don't know, they don't even realize that. You know, the things they drink, the things you eat, the things you listen to, how you are educated to give up your fantasies because there's no other world than this world. It is so dark that when you see the light, you get worried by how many people think they're the light, but they're still captured by the darkness. They think they're awake, but they're still sleeping. So the prison that we need to escape from is not difficult to escape from. But the only thing we need to do is to stop believing everything we do. So the first step for us is to realize that we are not what we think we are. We're not human beings. We are not. We can pretend to be. We can behave like one. We can even convince each other that we are. You can tell me 100 times, 1,000,000 times, that emotions are humans, belong to humans. Humans have emotions. People tell me, oh, you're not vulnerable. I said, you can only be vulnerable if you're wounded. I healed my wounds. What am I going to be vulnerable about? There's nothing to me to be vulnerable about. I can be authentic. I am. I will tell you what I think, I feel. But often I don't think and feel about you, because why would I think and feel about you?
Yeah.
You're here. I'm here. I observe you. Okay, I know what you are, who you do, whatever. But who cares? Right? So when I make the choice to come here, for me, I make the choice on sensing. Right now, I shut off every other podcast. This is the last one I'm doing right now. Maybe with a friend, if Giel Belen calls me or Tim Dalsma. I may do some of this. I have some friends in what we say, the influencer world. I may do it if it's fun and so, but I'm not doing podcasts anymore for now.
Okay.
This is my officially last one that I would do.
Okay.
I may show up here and there. But the reason for that is that, I need to go inside now.
Yeah.
I need to prepare for what's coming, and it's so big. It feels like a tsunami that's coming. But
how many years? How many years?
This year. This is this year.
Dragon year.
This is dragon year. This time that the tsunami is going to land. And this is beginning of a new cycle. All right, so...
what should we do? What should we do?
No, all right, so... Well, there are the simple steps we have to begin. The last step I just was talking about the step of magic. Magic is real, not in the way you see it in movies. You need to see magic as energy that you can move. You can train to move things. You can train to do telekinesis, to move this. But it takes a lot of training to be able to move this piece to here.
Yeah, telekinetic.
But telekinesis. So, but if I tell a child that it can do it, and I give it a way to do it, it will do it within a week, because I give it an incentive to do it.
That was one of my vision board, by the way.
Yeah, it has to be fun. For me, it's much more the new education that we're creating for children. We call it the butterfly brain. And the butterfly brain is to believe in magic, right? So we're teaching the magic. Of course, they need to learn certain facts, but you can learn that during the sleep. They don't need to be here to learn certain things. When they're awake, that's when we want to teach them magic, the magic of the word, the magic of creation, the magic of being, the magic of talking to trees. That world is the real world. The rest is illusion. It's the collective illusion we created. So if you can see through this dimension, the other dimensions, you can create a blueprint that goes through all the dimensions, comes into this dimension. Now I know the keys, the time of teaching will begin. So for me, there will be first a time of silence. The time of silence is preparation for the coming out. The coming out needs to be with a bang. It needs to be world news. It must be like, what just happened? Mm-hmm. Someone says they fantasized the way to become a billionaire.
Yeah.
This is not possible. This is the chain of reactions you will get. So at the moment that's there, you are entering into what people now see as the elite. The people you can blame for your own problems, because they take all your money. They are the reason that you are struggling. A lot of people believe that bullshit, right? Because the magic is gone. So you need someone to blame. So now all of a sudden, this crazy guy appears there, not only by himself, he brings 4 more people all lazy billionaires. We'll have our own brand. You can follow or not follow. We're going to interview billionaires. We're going to interview billionaires. Because a lot of people think they know, but do you know the billionaire mindset, true or not? So we're going to show you that billionaires are just people like you, like everyone else. They have the same problems you have, only on bigger scale. Yes, they can buy a boat, they can buy a plane, they can move around faster and so on, but that's not the trick of being a billionaire. That is the consequence of being a billionaire. But it starts in your mind. And once you see one crazy guy who shows you how easy it is and doesn't care about money, they can blame you for many things, but one thing they cannot blame me, that I do it for money. Because I'm going to give it all away.
Full, man.
Did you understand?
Yeah,
understand?
I see it.
So it is opening up the mind of people. And, this podcast today is exactly the one that I want to close with. Because when the story comes, you will have been the one that knew the story that's going to come.
Thank you.
The question is to you what you're going to do with it. Because that's the opening where you can fly.
Yeah.
That's the opening that will bring you into places you could have never gone before. So the portal is open. So it's up to you to prepare you for going through that portal.
Yeah, because you shook up my world right now.
That's exactly what's needed right now.
Yeah.
Because now it's just talk and just word.
Yeah.
Either I disappear and never come back because it didn't work out, was a big lie. Or
yeah, actually, yeah.
I appear and I tell, you see how this is how I did it.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
And that's the opening. Because people want to know the story. And you have a big part of the story. So this podcast is going to be watched by millions and millions. So when that time comes, you need to be ready to fly.
I'm doing my best.
You have a year. You have a year.
That's exactly how I feel like. Exactly. I've been telling this to Milan as well. I'm like, I feel like I'm running out of time. As something is happening and something is pulling me to evolve.
You got a year. Use it wisely. And your life will never be the same. And you will inspire millions because you got a story to tell. And then, who do you want to interview next? All the doors are open. You understand that?
Yeah.
That's all it is. And with that, we come back into the timeline of reality. Three-dimensional reality. My people are waiting.
No, but thank you so much for every knowledge that you shared. And it was such a honor to talk to you.
My pleasure.
And yeah, the stories that you shared, man, I'm going to rewatch it multiple times.
Well, if I were you, just the last tip. Just write a book about this interview. You can even say the last interview given by Roy before he became the lazy billionaire.
Damn.
World bestseller, my friend.
Man, I look forward in the future. It's crazy.
And thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah,
it's
you thank you. No problem.
To be here, and we will meet again.
Yeah,
but then after the story.
Yeah, you talk with so much conviction. I feel like you're.
Well, let me tell you this: when the story breaks, you get to interview me one more time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Be ready for that.
Sure thing.
Because then we close the loop. You'll remind me what I said here, because most of the things I said, I will not remember. You use that. And then we'll have a different talk. And then all the secrets can be revealed quite easily. Okay?
Yes.
So thank you. And see you again.
Hope y'all guys liked this video. And if you want to watch more of these type of content, remember to subscribe on this channel and drop a like. And see y'all guys in the next video.